Like a who?
Air gas, not like gas your car up.
I knew that. But where's the gas coming from?
From the velocity of the gun shooting out of the gun.
Oh. We're watching the Murdaugh trial. When Gina comes over, it gets boring.
Yep.
Last week, I was thinking if she could be here now, it'd be good. Because he was on the stand. He and Bus. There's not much happening today. Honor, you were fine. The dog, I promise you, I get on the video and the dog immediately cries to go out. No, ma'am, come here. You were fine. You don't need to go out. You were perfectly fine. Come on. I know, I was up at 3 a.m.
Why?
Well, I don't really have a good reason. Because I couldn't sleep. I was hungry, so I ate.
Okay.
I got up and had some peanut butter toast and some water. And then I went back to bed at 4. Let's go on a field trip to Moselle. Well, we think they're going to, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They said they were gonna. I wonder if they take us to go on the field trip.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then they were arguing that the landscape had changed a lot since then. So I don't know if the judge will actually grant it or not. I don't remember hearing.
Then, like, what would it do? Nancy Grace is in the courtroom today. We saw her. Yes, this is a subscriber video. That's right. Good morning, people. Yeah. Tell her about you being tired. I did tell her I was tired. What'd you decide about me being tired?
She needed to have some blood work. You're at the age where you'll start having some perimenopausal symptoms. And that includes being tired.
Tired. Wore out. Now she talks like Alec Murdaugh.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Dang.
He tries to sound like he's from Gates County.
Oh.
I got to go see Grandma and them, then I'm going to go over there.
Yeah.
Now, you know he doesn't usually talk like that.
No, he does not.
Lawyers don't talk. They don't use that slang, especially in a courtroom.
Exactly.
Now, if you were in a courtroom, would you say dang? You might.
I might.
She actually might.
I might. I can't lie.
But it would be believable.
Yeah, but
They
I'm
just
not,
said they're going on a field trip.
I'm not a lawyer, neither.
She's not a lawyer, neither. Sophia, will you let Honor out? Abierta. Yeah, let Honor out. Okay, gracias. There you go. Bye-bye, Honor. Yeah, close the door. Thank you. Good job. Push it. Push the door. Push. Push. It's my assistant. Gracias. He did grant the okay for the jury to view the property. Did you hear Poot say people are trespassing and taking selfies at the scene? No, we didn't hear that. Did you?
I heard him say something about getting some more patrols in that area. Honors?
That's Honor's toy. Yes.
But I was mixing up your...
Leave it in here, though. Stay inside. I'm back suspended by Facebook. I can't have videos on live ads. I promise you, somebody is reporting me. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. His attorney told him to use slang to make him seem closer to Mags and Paw Paw.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You are doing double duty with the trial. Is that why you're tired? Maybe. I hope they let them look in the deer feeders. Well, but you know, ain't nothing in that deer feeder anymore.
What was supposed in the deer feeder?
Well, so he had this conversation with Bus on the phone in the jail, and he said, Bus, let me tell you what he said. I got it right here. Hold on. Get my notes. My notes out. Where is it? Lord, I got a lot of notes. Whew. Well, where are all my notes? Oh, here they are. He said, let me tell you what you ought to do, Buster. I think them feeders are full at Moselle. If you tell You felt like going back there. I bet there's deer all over them things. Buster, I'm not going back. What's that going to do for me? Kill a deer? I'm not going hunting out there. I don't blame you. I'm just letting you know. Do you care if I let Jim do it? Jim who? Jim Griffin. What? Hunt deer out there, or what are you talking about? I didn't know if Howard wanted to hunt doves out there. If not, I'm going to let him. Do you just want to dove hunt out there? No, not at all. Nuh-uh. Now this is the same person that was so depressed, couldn't even go back to Moselle. What would that do for me? Kill a deer? Is he speaking in code? Why is his lawyer going out there to go hunting? Has he hidden something out there?
That's a heck of a pickle.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. No. Your wife and son have been killed, and you ask your other son, oh, don't you want to go out there and go hunting? To kill a deer? No, I don't. I'm sort of maybe done with Moselle and hunting. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And you're sitting in jail for their murder. Yeah. Why are you talking to me? Yes, we're watching the trial. We see the crying. And I do not believe he's really crying. You've joked and said, I'm going to kill you a few times. I said something was killing me and I got a warning. Oh, you think that got in trouble? Well, I did tell Blair last night I was going to beat her. You think that got me suspended? My God.
I'd stay in jail.
Yeah, Gina said
I'd stay right on in jail.
She never get out. Probably the devil went down to Georgia, probably got me divorced, got me in trouble too.
Probably.
Gina probably get me in trouble.
I couldn't do anything.
His bloody clothes, maybe? Well, I can tell you one thing. They're not out there. They're just going over the direction of the bullets. Up, out, down, boring. I know. Yes, it is. And he keeps sucking that water down so he doesn't choke. I think the Murdaugh, I think there was a 48 hours on it the other night. Maybe what we need to do, Gina, is watch the Netflix show.
Yeah.
Did you hear witness say Paul's head wound was a contact wound not 3 feet away?
It was.
I don't believe that the way it blew into the shack.
Well, this guy here, the defense's forensic pathologist said it was direct contact to the skull.
Put the gun on his skull.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He said because if somebody held a gun up, it had more space for the gases to go, so you don't have a big explosion. You'd have a smaller explosion. But somebody put the gun right up against his head, and that's why his head did like it did.
But what does that? Yes, he is not really crying, just wiping his eyes and nose and doing. Somebody just said it. He is doing more hand, face, wiping. I mean, it's tear all over face wipe, Linda. Yes. And if you have a tissue, do you then use your hand to wipe your face?
No.
See, this is the Netflix theories.
Leah and I started looking at the first episode, but we only got like 20 minutes.
Well, that's what I did. But I think we need to skip to the 3rd episode.
Probably.
Because the 3rd episode is where they show some sort of guns getting picked up on a camera. It's big. You got into Facebook because you said you were going to kidnap your friend. I think the rocking is so people behind him think he is sobbing. Oh. Yeah, I told Buster has no expression at all to me. Catherine said he's going to be sponsored by Kleenex in a second or two. Well, I was eating during the nose leak part. Did you see his nose leak?
No.
He had like a wave. It almost looked like, you know how bubble liquid is kind of thick and will space out? A wave of stuff coming out his nose. Like in a, just a, and then had it with his hands pulling it.
Who?
Elliot.
When?
On the stand the other day.
So he was spinning his own web of lies?
Yeah, his
Basically.
own web of snot. She didn't see him on the stand.
No, I didn't.
Buster is just as creepy as his dad. I will agree, Buster is a little bit odd to me in this thing. He gave his dad that real look, like when he was going up to the stand, like, I got you, Bubs.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was strange. And then his dad patted his bottom when he came back down. Whose dad pats their bottom of your 27-year-old son? Ooh. And then he didn't know his dad's birthday, but they said, oh, we talk twice a day. Do you talk to your children twice a day?
No.
How often do you talk to your son?
My son?
Uh-huh.
My son just realized it was my birthday on Friday, yesterday. Maybe once every 2 weeks.
Okay, that seems normal to me.
Yeah.
He's a young adult.
Yes.
If you told me, oh, Joshua and I talk 3 times a day and he doesn't know your birthday?
Yeah.
Well, what are they talking about if you don't know the birthday?
Exactly. I mean,
wouldn't he be grieving his mom and brother? One would think so. You want the purple carry basket that Nurse Gina's got?
Simply Southern.
Simply Southern. Nurse Gina left that thing here one day. I had to call her to come back and get it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, Buster, and what's the deal? What do we think happened to the housekeeper?
I have no idea.
How does the girlfriend?
She probably knew too much.
The 911 call about the housekeeper is cuckoo. They're like, she's fallen. She tripped on the dogs. Nobody sounds panicked. Nothing. That's right, Melissa. Then the Stephen Smith died. What was he doing? Was he hanging out with Buster? Now Buster's got this girlfriend who Alec is always flirting with. Yes, Maggie called 911 for the housekeeper. Can't judge Buster on, he could be grieving differently. That's true. But I'll tell you one thing Buster said that I thought was nuts. He said, none of us thought Paul was driving the boat.
What? Number one, Buster, you won't own the boat. The survivors
All said, let us drive. We want to drive. So why would Buster say that?
Exactly.
Buster's girlfriend is an attorney too. Oh, I didn't know that. Buster got kicked out of law school for cheating. I'm sorry, but cheating is like some sort of moral compass for me.
Oh, yeah.
Elliot pushed the housekeeper down the stairs and stole her money. Something happened in Stephen Smith. Stephen Smith gets thrown out in the road, and Stephen Smith has been telling his mother that he's hanging out with somebody real wealthy and doesn't give a name, and he's gone on a boat with them, and he's done this and that and the other, and he was in the same class as Buster. Bus.
The whole daggone family just looked.
You think he planned the housekeeper's death because he knew he had insurance money that he could get from his homeowner's policy. Karen, I think that is legit.
Definitely.
I think that's legit because he copied the girlfriend's paper. The girlfriend now is still in law school, and he got kicked out for copying her paper. So she's a cheat too. Oof. He stole money from a quadriplegic. Well, the quadriplegic stealing, and then the quadriplegic got unplugged.
Right.
And who unplugged the quadriplegic?
Didn't it? We watched that on something. And that him and the other attorney had gone up to see that young man in the bed.
Yeah. I talk to my adult kids every day, but they might be checking on us because we're 84 and 86.
Yeah, I talk to my mom every day.
Gina talks to her mom every day. Yeah. I think that's probably right. She could claim that she did not realize he copied her work. You think the housekeeper may be an accident. You know, I don't think I would think that they killed the housekeeper, but the 911 call is bizarre. And the fact that they took all the money. Like, it just seems coincidental that somebody dies in your house and then you're like, oh, and now I can steal money from them.
Yeah.
You know,
That's shady.
it's so shady.
Very, very shady.
Shady. Murdaughs have a different set of morals than most of the population. You think it was a crime of convenience. Well, what about that Stephen Smith?
Who was he?
I talk to my adult kids every day. Usually we're in a group chat. Well, a group chat is not talking on the phone twice a day to your 27-year-old son. And then with that son, do they know your birthday? I think those two things don't make sense. He took out the policy a month before she fell. I will say it is weird to have a policy as big as he had on his house. It's strange. We have $1 million indemnity clause, which is like pretty basic. Somebody gets hurt in your house, you have $1 million policy. His was like $8 million.
Holy crap.
Like, what is going to happen to Gina that she needs $8 million?
Yeah, don't get any ideas now. I got stuff to do.
She got stuff to do. Oh no, Gina's falling down the stairs. Leanne, Thomas will help y'all sue us. Come on, we'll help you. Yeah, we'd love to help you. We're going to steal all your money. I mean, that's what they did.
Yes.
The other thing they did with the Stephen Smith is that the brother called Stephen Smith's family that night and said, we want to help you. Well, how did they know that Stephen Smith was even gone? Stephen Smith's mother is like, that freaking attorney called me 3 hours later. So did Buster get any money? Inadvertently, he has. I think he was not there during the murder. Has the state proved their case he did it? I don't think so. I'm not sure either. Now, Seaton yesterday says she thinks that they have. Extra high policy because of all the hunting on the property. Well, if you were that concerned about your insurance, would you leave loaded guns laying around all over the house? I mean, you're going to get a policy, but be like, wee, I love to leave guns with ammunition in them.
No.
And he wanted all of Stephen's electronics. Oh, he did? The brother said that? Wanted his electronics. We didn't know that. You got to finish the Netflix series. You'd have a camera up. We don't have cameras in here. Now, the people that used to live here have cameras all over the outside of the house. They'd like to spy on their children, I guess, when they were out of town. Probably smart. I'd be afraid of what I might see. The description of wounds is damaging. But what is it damaging for? That's what I told Gina. I couldn't figure out, what is it going to hurt? You never know when you're gonna need to unalive someone. You think it was outside? Oh, when they killed the housekeeper? I don't know. We're gonna watch the last episode, right? Her. How are we gonna know when we need to be watching the trial?
I know.
Somebody better message me.
Starts getting good.
Message us if it's good. We don't want to miss the field trip either.
You reckon they're gonna pack them up today?
Randy said he didn't know Stephen Smith had died till after the funeral. Stephen's sister saw Randy at the crime scene the next day after the murder. I did notice that night he's calling Randy all throughout the time of that crime happening.
I don't know all the characters.
She doesn't know all the characters. Paul's girlfriend told the hospital staff not to let Alec or his father in her room after the boating accident. I heard her say that. And why would she lie? Why would she lie? And they said the housekeeper wasn't working at the time she fell. She had just come over to get some money.
And the plot thickens.
We don't believe it. Okay, we're going to go watch Netflix. I'll tune in later. Carry on.